With so much talk about the CV90 these days, it seems like a great time to go over Estonia's fleet of CV90 vehicles. We know that the country is looking at acquiring brand new Mark IV CV90s in the future, so we'll need to go over that potential deal as well. So let's get started. November 27, 2014. That was the day that the government of Estonia authorized its defense minister to sign an agreement with the Netherlands for the acquisition of CV90 infantry combat vehicles. The purchase agreement was then signed in the Netherlands about 2 weeks later on December 9th. The deal saw Estonia purchase 44 CV90 infantry combat vehicles, unarmed support vehicles based on the Leopard 1 tank, and maintenance kits for the vehicles. Defense Minister at the time, Sven Mikser, stated that the acquisition represented Estonia's largest defense procurement to date, saying, "The infantry combat vehicles will take Estonia's fighting power to a new level. It is one of the three main priorities of the national defense development." The government's official statement for the CV90 deal said that the acquisition was completed, quote, "at a good price." Defense News reported on December 9, 2014 that the deal was reportedly worth around €100 million. A later report said that the deal, including training vehicles, was actually €113 million. Delivery of the CV90 35NL IFEs was completed in 2019 and was noted to be the first of the CV90 IFE models to feature a commander's independent sight. Although used, the CV90s from the Netherlands were said to be at the beginning of their life cycle. It was also added that all vehicles would undergo maintenance and repair in the Netherlands before delivery. The CV90s were then delivered and fielded by the Estonian Defence Forces Professional Scouts Battalion to guarantee the unit's manoeuvrability, greater firepower, and increased protection.
This is a little bit different training ground than we usually have in Holland. There are a little bit more swamps over here and also a lot more forest. Our colleagues from the Estonian Scout Battalion were very happy to see how their new vehicle can perform in areas like this.
Estonia would go deeper with the CV90 platform with another deal signed in 2016, this time with Norway. The reason to purchase more of these vehicles was to have other machines to complement the IFVs, armoured CV90 variants for mortars, command posts and transporters. Estonia's Defence Ministry Vice-Chancellor was quoted as saying, "After we bought the main machines, the CV90, we began to look around where similar vehicles were available. And so Estonia picked up 37 used CV90 hulls from Norway, each said to cost, quote, the price of a small car." To be more precise, Estonia purchased 35 hulls and 2 training vehicles. The media called it an exceptionally favourable deal and multiple times below market price. The deal was said to be valued at €635,000, equating to an average of €18,000 per piece. This is a very political transaction in the sense that €635,000 is actually non-existent as price for such things. "We have acquired excellent equipment from a friendly nation thanks to Norwegian taxpayers," an Estonian official said. According to the Estonian media outlet Postimees.ee, the old CV90 30 hulls were stored at a hangar in Norway, stripped of their most expensive component, the turrets with their cannons. The hulls are in Norway, parked tightly against each other in the right temperature and humidity. "All are in good working order. We have checked every one," that same Estonian official said. Norway was selling off 70 of these hulls, as is, all in different conditions. And so the Defence Ministry and Defence Forces experts went to Norway to pick out the ones which fit Estonia. It was said that the ones that were chosen quickly had been used in exercises. Some of these 70 hulls had been on missions in Afghanistan, but it's unclear if Estonia took any of those vehicles. But while the deal was signed in 2016, delivery and refurbishment has taken quite some time. For some 2 years, the 37 turretless CV90 IFV chassis sat idle in a hangar at the EDF's Tapa base. Finding a defense contractor to do the work was the challenge. At least part of this delay had to do with the bids having shortcomings and not meeting the conditions set forth in the supporting documents of the public procurement. A report, again by Postimees.ee, noted that another problem was that BAE Systems and its subcontractors have control of the entire manufacturing chain and simply refused to supply spare parts. We won't get too deep into this whole ordeal, but it simply appeared that BAE had simply cut other bidding contractors off in hopes of making more money. It was only in 2021 that the companies GoCraft and Scania Estonia were awarded the contract for a modernization and upgrade program for the vehicles. Estonian firm Milrem Robotics joined the refurbishment program a little later on. An April 2021 Facebook post from the Estonian Defence Investment Centre stated that this work would be completed by 2024. Closer to the end of 2021, it was also announced that the refurbished CV90 vehicles would be equipped with the Protector RS4 remote weapons station from Kongsberg. This would give the vehicles the capability to fire weapons like the Javelin anti-tank guided missile. In 2022, it was announced that Mobius, an Israeli company, had been contracted to supply command seats for the manned turret of the Estonian Army's refurbished and rebuilt CV90s. Speaking just about the seat contract, a Mobius representative stated, "Designing new seats for an existing platform that is undergoing a comprehensive renovation and upgrade is a very complex task. There are many constraints that must be taken into account, such as available space, effective operation of systems already installed in the turret that require seating to be positioned at certain angles and at a certain height, adjustments for different vehicle specifications, and of course planning for the wide size range of the men and women fighters who will use the seats, from women in the 5th percentile up to men in the 95th percentile. A February 2024 article by European Defence Review states that rebuilding has been ongoing in Estonia by local companies. It was added that the outcome would see 9 different configurations being produced in variable numbers. The variants include Command and Control, or C2, Indirect Fire Coordination Center, Armored Personnel Carrier, Mortar Carrier, Anti-Tank, Air Defense, Engineer, Medivac, and finally Combat Supply. The European Defence Review article noted that the first vehicles should be delivered in early 2025, a point in time that has come and gone, and so we have to conclude that Estonia has still not refurbished and fielded these old ex-Norwegian military CV90s, even though they were acquired about 7 or 8 years ago. But while the media hasn't really reported on the status of this major refurbishment project in recent times, our sources tell us that the Forward Observer and Command variants are almost done at the time of making this video. These same sources have informed us that the anti-tank and mortar variants are going to be delivered in 2027, and so a few years from now. It's certainly disappointing and does make one wonder if the acquisition was actually a good deal in retrospect. But finally, when it comes to Estonia and the CV90, the latest news is that Estonia is joining 5 other NATO allies in declaring an intent to jointly procure the next-generation CV90 Mark IV. At the time of making this video, a deal has yet to be signed, and so the situation could change from what we're reporting in this video. However, it is understood that if things go ahead, these brand new CV90s will reach Estonia by 2029. Lithuania is saying that deliveries could begin in 2028. Estonia's Minister of Defense was quoted as saying, "We currently have the CV90 Mark III, which is used by the Scouts Battalion. The next generation Mark IV could become the shared platform for all of the Nordics and Baltics, which would certainly provide a major boost to interoperability, spare parts, and maintenance." Do note, however, that Latvia remains the odd country out as it is not a participant in this potential CV90 deal. Despite Estonia's expression of interest in the CV90 Mark IV, it was noted that the Estonian Centre for Defence Investments is still in the process of evaluating several different combat vehicles, and that its deadline for presenting its findings to leadership is June 30th. With the understanding that a joint procurement deal will see all vehicles have the same weapons, these are the reported details of a jointly procured CV90 Mark IV. The vehicle will be fitted with the 35mm Bushmaster 3 autocannon and machine gun and be equipped with Spike LR2 missiles. It'll have an Active Protection System, or APS, although as far as we know, the specific system is not specified. The CV90 Mark IV operates with a crew of 3 with the ability to transport 8 infantry personnel. According to an infographic released by Lithuania's Ministry of Defense, it'll have a weight of about 38 metric tons and be powered by a 700-kilowatt Scania engine. And so, at the time we're making this video, there's still a lot of uncertainty about Estonia's future CV90 deal. when those modified ex-Norwegian hulls will enter service, and whether or not brand new Mark IVs will be purchased. Nonetheless, it looks like the CV90 platform is quite popular throughout the Nordics, making for a fairly strong supply chain. What do you think of Estonia's purchase of old CV90s from the Netherlands and the old hulls from Norway? Let us know by leaving a comment.